Hello friends, I have a couple things and I wanted to show you because I have it down. Sorry. I have it laid down so that I could see if it was big enough and everything. But I made a rug and I'm really happy about it. And I'm not finished with it, but it's gonna be good. Okay. So I'm gonna do more to it, but this is what it looks like. And I'm really happy about it. And I wanted to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while. There you go. But I've been thinking about this thing for a while. And I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was really interesting. And I don't know how true it is, but for me it's been very true. I don't know if it is for everyone. So, I learned, was it 2 years ago almost? I think it was. That's interesting. But it was about 2 years ago when I found out that I had, it's called conditional ADHD, because it could just be PTSD. But my family also is, parts of my family are definitely autistic in different ways. So I'm very sure that I'm some kind of autistic. Some kind of neurodivergent. And I'm okay with that. I'm very happy about it. But something that I've noticed is people talk about hyperfixations. And there's this one wonderful person on all of the platforms that I follow, and I cannot remember her name, of course, because I wanted to talk about her, but I was watching something of hers on Facebook about how she's like, this is a current hyperfixation that, from what my brain said while she was saying it, was, she said, this will be my hyperfixation up until I die, or until I get sick of it and never want to see it again. That's the basic premise of what she was saying. No, I thought that was really funny. But the thing that I have discovered, at least for myself, I don't know if it's everyone, but I've noticed that I have hyperfixations that are more long-term and ones that are definitely more short-term. Like when I was a kid, I wanted to be a mechanic. I wanted to be an astronaut. I still kind of want to be an astronaut, but that includes a lot of math, and I have dyscalculia, so no. But if I could be an astronaut, if I could go to space at any time, that would be wonderful, and it would make me very, 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 very happy. Anyway, so my hyperfixations, my long-term ones have been Wicca, and I'll show off this book that I have, and because I absolutely love it. It is problematic in certain ways, I will say that, because of when it was written and everything. What I decided to do, I was like, I'm going to read this regardless of what it says. I want to know whatever knowledge it brings me, like whether or not I believe in it. I know it's going to help me learn a lot. And it's this. Complete Book of Witchcraft by Raymond Buckland. Or a lot of people apparently call it the Big Blue Book. by Raymond Buckland. And it's problematic because of some of the words he uses, such as, he talks about Native Americans, and he does not say Native American. He says, like, American Indian or something like that. So that's problematic. There are a few other things that I cannot think of right now. But, he says he or she, and I'm like, why can't you just say they? The person. Because it doesn't really matter what gender you are. And it feels like it's trying to be like he or she. And I'm like, well, I'm not. So, but there are certain things that I felt like they're not little things. I won't say they're little things, but they were not things that I decided to put my focus on. I wanted to focus on the learning because there's a lot to learn in this book. There's, you can learn a lot about, like, runes. You can learn a lot about, he teaches you how to, like, he makes a step-by-step guide on how to make a little table and an athame, which is a little ritual knife, which I think is really cool. It talks about, like, what you can get to carve runes into things, or, like, different symbols. It talks about the difference between talismans and amulets and things like that. And it talks about herbs a bit, and it talks about different kinds of healing, and it, like, gives you a step-by-step guide on how to do certain types of healing, and talks about gems a little bit, and talks about history, which I love history, so that's cool. Like, it talks a little bit about palmistry, or it's called chiromancy, but palm reading, basically. It tells you, like, like, how to pick out a good wand, and, like, how to do a lot of things, how to read tarot, how to do lots of things. It's honestly incredible to me reading this book, and I'm gonna read it again and look at my answers from last year and be like, either like, wow, I think the same things, or wow, I was really at the beginning of my learning. I'm excited for that, honestly, because I feel like it's important to see where you were and acknowledge where you were at a certain point, and to see where you came from, as well as to see how far you've gotten, because I feel like that's very important to see all of that, honestly. Because a lot of things, honestly, it's very important to see where you came from, because you can revel in your accomplishments, and you can kind of work on things that you need to work on, such as, like, my brain. Like, I am non-binary, but sometimes when I see other non-binary people, or, like, trans people or anything, like my friends, you know, my brain decides, no, that's not a thing. I'm like, fucking why not? It is a thing, actually, and I'm part of this community. But my brain sometimes is like, nope, that's not how it works. Like, well, actually, it is. It's like, it is. But, ooh, it also talks about interpreting your dreams. I forget a lot of things that it says. And I bought a book from, it's Carl Jung, was a psychologist who wrote books, and it's called The Red Book. It's actually called The Red Book, by him. So I have the blue book, and I have the red book over there. Need to get, I don't know, that could be like the purple book. We're not going to talk about the purple book yet. But, yeah, I mostly wanted to talk about hyperfixations. And I am, technically. But, yes, witchcraft and paganism are one of that's one of my fixations. One of my long-term fixations that I picked up about almost a year and a half ago now, which is crazy to me. But yeah, it's about a year and a half now that I actually think about it. Wow, that's amazing. But anyway, my other hyperfixation is ASL. And a lot of people have picked up on that, and someone, I've kind of been talking to, decided that he wanted to learn with me, and I'm like, that's really cool. And he's actually been practicing, and that's really nice. It's really nice, honestly. Because when I get very anxious, it's very important for me, because when I have like panic attacks or something, I can't speak anymore. I can barely laugh most of the time. I can barely make any sounds, unless I'm actually forced to, which for most of my life I was. So now I'm allowing myself to heal from that and to learn that I can do what I need to when I'm having a panic attack and be able to just sign if I need to, or it's mostly been texting, honestly, but the more people that learn sign language, the more I can be like, I'm having a panic attack in sign language, and then they can do something about that. Like, people at work really seem to want to learn sign language too, and I'm like, let me just send you the things that I have. Because I have a little bit of an arsenal, not a big one, but like a little bit of things that I send people from YouTube, like Bill Vickers, I'm good at it sometimes. I've been getting better. I a lot of times have anxiety when I meet someone who is actually deaf. But I've been getting better at using sign language to talk with them. And they're really excited, and I'm excited because I love using sign language. Just in general, it makes me happy. Very, very, very happy. Shh. It makes me very happy. But, yeah. Those are two long-term hyperfixations that I have that I honestly... I'm so happy that I have them because they've helped me heal through a lot of trauma in general. Wicca has helped me heal from a lot of, especially religious trauma, but it's also helped me go through like a lot of just trauma in general. Just, it's been very helpful and wonderful and very eye-opening on like historical things, because a lot of history that I was written by like Christians who are like, this is the Christian way and this is how the Christian history went and stuff like that. And then reading a whole shit ton of books about witchcraft, a lot of them start with history. And I love history a lot, and reading it, I'm like, it's two sides of the same coin, seeing from a different perspective. Because, you know, I at least learned about like wars and things because people weren't becoming Christian, and at the time I just thought they were wars for different reasons, but and I mean, I know like a lot of people have talked about the wars because of religion, and I'm like, what are you talking about? No. Literally in the Bible, I've read it 1.5 times all the way through. In the Bible, people start wars because the Christian God wanted them to. Just because these people didn't want to pray to the Christian God. They liked their gods and stuff, and so wars, started for that reason. And a lot of people don't realize that. But the Christian God actually wanted people to start wars to, like, convert people, I guess. I'm like, that's lame. Even if you can, like, manipulate what's going on and, like, how they fight will make sure you win. Like, that doesn't make it okay. But it did happen, and it's really good to know what happened. Kind of like looking back into your past and seeing where you were and where you are now, actually. It's always good to look into the past because the history repeats itself, and that's been a saying that I've heard all my life, and recently I've heard a lot of schools don't teach history as much. Or only bad teachers teach history. And I'm like, that should change. That should definitely change. But anyway, so I have this book out specifically because of the rug. I was looking up the certain directions and certain symbols, and I wanted to put those symbols in with their color correlating with their like direction. So north, south, east, west. North is earth, south is fire, east is air, and west is water. And I always forget that, so I had to look it up. And I looked it up in 3 different sources. I mean, one of them was my notebook, or Book of Shadows, whatever you want to call it. But one of them was there, the other one was the Big Blue Book, and the other one was on Google. And I looked at, I want to say 3 different sources on Google to make sure, because I really like to do my homework before I do something, because I think that's a good idea. But yeah, I feel like it's very important to kind of know what you're trying to do instead of just going for it. And I don't like the ask for forgiveness later type thing. I'm not, especially with something so like it's for rituals, but also it's going to be a very good it's very soft yarn that I used for the rug initially. It's also very heavy. And so with both of those, the stimulation, the like happy stimulation that I feel just like sitting on it or having it on top of me or just like holding it has been almost life-changing in a way. It makes me so happy. I love it so much. But yeah. Also, side note, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to post much in the coming weeks because a new development happened recently. And I don't know that I should share all of the details quite yet because I'm very emotional about it right now. And I want to be a little more clear-headed before I just spout it off. I've talked to my friends about it, and most of the people watching these are my friends. So, but still, just in case, I blow up suddenly or something. But yeah, it's definitely, I'm going through a very rough time right now, just in general. But I'm trying to continue on and just be the best me that I can and just continue doing what I need to be myself and keep surviving. Yeah. Anyway. But I do hope everyone has a wonderful day. Thank you for listening to Hyperfixations and Bunny Trails by Nibi. But I'll talk to you all some other time. See you on the other side.